everyone. It is October 28th, and James, we have. I feel like I say this every day. Like every day, I always get chills. Yeah, we have a very special guest with us today. It's every day, but I'm honored, man. We met Mr. Cox about 2 weeks ago at the solicitors event down in Gwinnet, and you're part of a group called the Gwinnet Chatt Outreach, right?
Correct.
Tell us about Gwinnet Chatt Outreach, who you are, what the organization stands for.
Okay, so I'm Ryan Cox. So my organization, we work with teenagers. So what we try to do is give them like some mentorship, figure out what they want to do with life. So we do this, we bring them into businesses, give them a behind the scenes tour, and kind of give them an idea of if they want to achieve certain things in life, like you want to live in this house, you want to drive this car, what type of jobs do you want to have? So we focus on all of the jobs that you don't hear about. So a lot of times the kids will say they want to be an athlete or they want to do certain things. So what we want to do is try to broaden that horizon. So rather than if I ask them, what do you want to do? It's an athlete, they want to be some type of singer, entertainer, or they're like, I don't know what I want to do. So what I try to focus on, we're going to go into the jobs that people don't hear about all the time. Because if you ask the parents, it's like, oh, you need to be a doctor or a lawyer. Like, well, there's a million other jobs out there besides those. So we bring them in, spend 2 or 3 hours at a place, and we get some hands-on activities. And we learn about every position within the organization, whether you need a high school diploma or if you need all the way up to a doctorate degree, depending on what we do. It's a kind of a good overview. We do community outreach as well. We've done some events. The last one we did, we worked with the Lawrenceville Police Department, City of Lawrenceville. We gave out, it was 450 box fans and water to the community. We've donated baby supplies where we've delivered them all over Gwinnett County. I think 117 families across the county. Given out hygiene kits. We've worked with churches where we've given out coats, and we fed the grandparents, because there were grandparents who were raising their kids, and we gave out like hats and gloves, things like that. So we're doing more than just working with teenagers, doing a lot of community service as well.
But it's so interesting enough for me. Like, it seems like every meeting I've been in recently, everybody's talking about what we have to do with the youth. We have to talk to the youth. We have to start working with the youth. And I mean, I was just in a meeting literally just before we walked into here, and it was all about kids and about youth all day. Literally, all my first 3 meetings of the day was about youth. Why is there such a push to deal with the youth in this moment, in this season? What's going on that we need to be made aware of?
Well, I think if you look at, especially coming out of COVID, everybody knows that coming out of COVID, there's been just a spike in just activity, whether it be crime or whatever, all across the country. It's not just here in Atlanta, it's all across the country. And just in general, I think we got to start with youth, because those are the ones who are typically more likely to start anything, get into any type of trouble. So my whole goal is, let's get them before they can reach that point, so they don't get in trouble. Let's put programs, actions, activities, things in place to keep them busy. Because as long as they're busy, they're not going to have time to get in trouble.
Right.
That's my whole objective. It's like, I don't want to see people, I don't want to see that prison, the school to prison pipeline. We want to nip it in the bud early. So that's why my whole thing is focusing on teenagers, figuring out what we can do as a community to put programs in place so they don't have the idle time.
James.
Oh, okay. Well, the first question I have was: Are some of your teens, are they doing community service through the course through your program?
None that I work with. A lot of my kids I've just met through my outreach programs. Some of it's been word of mouth. Some of it has been the events that I described, like what we've done in public. And I'm talking to parents. It's been going to, whether it's the district attorney putting on town halls, and I'm meeting parents that way. So a lot of times I'm meeting the kids before they get to that point. I haven't made a connection yet where I'm getting kids directly from there. Maybe in the future.
All right.
I mean, it is a goal of mine, but right now I'm just not at that point.
Okay, that leads me into the next question about if parents can like just bring their child to the introduce you to their child and just say, hey, I'd like for my child to be in your program, but I think you just answered that.
Yeah, what happens is sometimes it comes in a variety of ways. So one of the young men in my program, the district attorney was putting on a town hall, and she invited me to come out and speak. And this lady was like, my son he's having issues, he needs some help. Is there anything that you can do? She was talking to the district attorney, and she just made this blanket statement that kind of made me upset, where she was like, there's no good man out here in the community. All these men, nobody's doing anything positive. And so district attorney, she's like, well, you need to talk to Ryan. Talk to Ryan, see about getting him in his program, and I think he can make a difference.
Right.
And so I was able to meet her, we talked, and then I got a chance to meet her son, and then he got in the program, first event he went to. And I told him, I was like, hey, first event we're going to a networking event. I'm going to show you, you're going to have to dress nice. If you don't have any clothes, I'll buy you some clothes. I'll buy you some nice khakis. We put on a button-down shirt, but we're going to go out here, and you're going to spend time with me, just learning how to network and how I get my business. That was the first thing he ever did with me.
All right.
And so he did, and he was like, oh, yeah, this is pretty cool. I never experienced anything like this. So that's been one way that I've been able to get kids, but like I said, the court system, not yet.
Awesome. I was just thinking that, a lot of the kids, some of them just don't have the opportunities. Mom and dad work all the time. They don't have, you used to be a time where, bring your kids to work day.
Right.
Or bring the parents to the school and share that way, at least during elementary. But now, those programs aren't really there, not the way they used to be. So now, it takes programs like yours, and getting the children, these kids, exposed to new things outside of music, sports and entertainment, that kind of stuff, and introducing them to these new things. So I commend you on what you do, man. Thank you very much for that, because it's really needed, and we need more services like that.
Yeah, I agree.
So one of the things I want to be extremely careful about is that transparency wise, I get what our children are hurting, right?
Right.
There's no way to beat around that. And I woke up this morning, I think I was probably even more grieved than I was yesterday, because there's so much going on with our youth. They're being exposed to things in a totally different way.
Right.
And I hate the metaphor that older people have when they have a metaphor of kind of saying young people don't understand. They're experiencing things that I didn't experience when I was in school.
Right.
That Deacon James didn't experience when he was in school. That Ryan them didn't experience when they're in school, and they experienced it earlier. Right. One of the things that I'm very passionate about, I think that we just had a meeting with the DA recently, same county you're referring to, and one of the things I'm extremely passionate about is understanding that it's not just enough to rehab children. Right. We have to rehab parents as well.
I agree.
And I am in a place to where I'm tired of talking about it. Right. I was just literally on a phone call earlier today, where we was trying to put together this thing, and no knock to everybody. Everybody has respective schedules, but we it's enough talking about it. What is your message to those organizations out there, to those other leaders out there who are working in these areas, to say to them it's enough for the talk? Kids don't want to just hear us talking about it anymore.
I agree. So one of the things that before I get to that point, one of the things I'm 100% behind you. So the last month or so, I've been holding my own town halls. And so I've done town halls all over Gwinnet County. And what I wanted to do is get the community input. And so we had people come out, and we had a different speaker come out. We had everybody from state senators to community organizers to former police officers to just different type of people that were coming out. And so what I told people is, this isn't a place to come to complain, because everybody loves to complain about things that are going on. My thing was, let's come up with some solutions. what can we do as a community to make sure that kids, and the parents are in a good place. And it goes back to starting with the teens, but also making sure that the parents are available and are just as committed to being a part of the process too. So with my town hall, we got a lot of ideas. And so I'm like you, I don't like to sit back and wait on things to happen. So I said, we're gonna write down all of these ideas. My next step, we're gonna go to the county commissioners, we're gonna go to the city council meetings, and we're gonna present these things and say, this is what the community came up with. These are the things that we want to see happen. These are the things that you need to invest in. And so we get some people, you still get the negativity. Oh, they're not going to pay for this. They're city managers, they don't care. The commission. I was like, no. We have to make them care. So if I go by myself, maybe they won't listen to me. Mm-hmm. But if I have a meeting, we have 50 people in there, and we have 50 people all saying the same message, they're going to have to listen to us. So my thing is, even if you don't like politics, you have to stay on the politicians and making sure that they're listening to your concerns. At the end of the day, they are, you are their constituents, and they need to listen to you, and you have to make them listen. And I don't mean that in like the violent, crazy way. I just mean like
hold them accountable.
Hold them accountable.
Yeah.
Yes. The more you hold them accountable, the more they're gonna know who you are. Because when I started my organization, none of these elected officials knew who I were. Now I can get on the phone with about any of them because I'm active and I stay and I hold them accountable, and I'm always there and I show up to everything. And so the same thing with the parents. Parents need to be showing up. So like if there's town halls, there's things going on, you need to show up.
I was talking to somebody recently, and they was talking about the school that LeBron James built. Mm-hmm. And like literally when he built the school, and I don't know how true this is, but they were saying that he had people going door to door, mm-hmm. saying, if I'm going to have your child in this program, you have to come to the table with your child.
Right.
And again, I think that's really important. And I'm telling you, it's crazy how God works, because literally our organization is making a push for this, and we're getting ready to do it in Gwinnet, Fulton, and Cobb County, where we're choosing 5 students to be a part of that, to mm-hmm. be in those meetings. Like when I'm talking to elected officials or the DA's office or the judge's office, and we want to do the same thing.
Right.
Because we understand that we have to mobilize kids in the way to where, like I after George Floyd, we got the conviction of George Floyd. I went out and I said that wasn't enough. We shouldn't be satisfied with that, right? We have so much more work to do. That just the conviction of one officer should not be enough. And it's bigger than George Floyd, right? Our kids are ready to work. I think they are. Our kids are ready to stand on the front lines. They're looking for the leadership of those of us mm-hmm. Who are supposed to be on the front lines with them. So, man, I commend you. I commend you for the work, and I commend you for the way you're going about working it, because it is political. Mm-hmm. We know that. And but our kids need that, right? Our kids need us. Our kids need our parents. And our kids need to be able to they need to learn how to hold elected officials feet to the fire. Because these are our future elected officials.
Right. And so, I tell them all the time, and I've invited some of the kids in my program to come out to the town halls, mm-hmm. and then I introduce them to these some of these elected officials, because I'm like, okay, if you go to court, this is the person that you're going to have to talk to. These are the people you're going to deal with. The things that's going on in state, this is the person that's responsible for this. So it's like, everybody says the whole thing about they don't teach civics in school. I'm like, well, I'm going to do the best I can with my group and teach them a lot more about the civics, and they get a firsthand experience of it. So it's something I'm actually getting ready to start working with a high school, and we're going to bring in a couple of state senators and state reps to come in and talk to them and explain to them, do like another town hall where they're going to learn about what the job of the state senators, state representatives, and city council does. So that's something we're doing now.
Man, I appreciate it. I say on behalf of what we do, I appreciate what you guys are doing. Mm-hmm. And any way we can work together and support each other, because it's going to take a village, man.
It really is. It really is. So I'm looking forward to being able to work with you all, partner with you all, whatever I can do to help.
And if people want to know more about Gwinnet Chatt Outreach, how can they find out information about you guys?
You can go to my website, gwinnetchat.org. You can go, same thing, look me up on social media. Just look up Gwinnet Chatt Outreach. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Look me up on LinkedIn.
And just to make sure
Fantastic.
people know, the chat has 2 T's in it,
Has
so
two
it's not
T's.
just 1 T.
Yes, it's from
it's two.
homage to my hometown, Chattanooga.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So GwinnetChatOutreach.org.
Yes.
Okay.
GwinnetChatOutreach.org.
Man, thank you for coming and being a part of the show today. Thank you for
Yes.
the work that you're doing in the community. Thank you for the work you're doing in our youth. And we hope that your message will be heard by other people who will get on fire and understand that we got to invest in our youth now.
Exactly.
And this is the time. So thank you, Ryan, for being here today.
I appreciate it.
And
Thank
until
you.
next time, we'll see you guys tomorrow.